job. I want to help you. Get me started in the business.
The streets don't play, Kanan. That's what I keep trying to tell you. But you don't want to hear me, though.
Come on, man. This is my story. This is the Southside Jamaica Queens story. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. You said you was going to get me involved.
You pull that trigger, you in it.
Hey, Shalom, brothers. This is Brother Howard of GMS Toronto coming back with another one. This show, Raising Kanan, and you know what? It can be linked with the show Raising Dion as well. It's the same story being told, just in a different way. And I'm going to explain why. 3 years ago, I did a lesson called Honor Your Father's Name. I think that was the name. I think it's called Honor Your Father's Name. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Yeah, this is it right here. It was called Honor Your Father's Name. Yeah, it was 3 years ago. Now, that's where I slightly touched on the destruction of the order of man and woman, right? And so fast forward to now, which is, I guess, the power book number 3. So Raising Kanan, where the mother goddess is now in full control, right? Because before, in the power, right, the first one with, what's his name? I can't even remember the guy's name, Patrick Saint or something like that. The woman wasn't in control yet. The man was in control. They were going to have to kill the man, right? Even in this show, in Raising Kanan, they ended up killing the father again, just to let you know that they're just telling the story over and over and over again, to where the father dies and then the mother gains control and then the son gains prominence, right? That's just it's just an old Babylonian ritual, which goes back to Semiramis and Tammuz, right? What we are watching theatrically is different spells being casted through our television, right? Mainly destruction of the patriarchy. That's literally what we're watching. We're watching the destruction of the patriarchy, right? This is woman worship. And it's starting with, like I said, with power, with Ghost. Yeah, that's his name, Ghost, being the father god, aka Osiris, or the hidden god. His wife, Tasha, she was a representation of Semiramis, or just the mother goddess, right? Or aka the whore of Babylon, because she was also a whore, right? That's why a lot of people, when they watch Power, they got mad because she was sleeping with different men. But you have to remember, the mother goddess is also a whore of Babylon, right? She has a whore altar or whore aspect, right? That's what they try to push on these women now in the music, in the movies, right? So these women embrace their whorish ways, right? Which every woman is able to be that, right? It's just the mentality. So the mentality of this world, they made it okay for a woman to be a hoe, right? They exalted it to where it's just like, okay, well, I'm a hoe, but this is my power, right? This is where I get my strength from. There was another clip, and it's on YouTube, where a woman was talking about it, and she was just going into how sleeping with multiple men, she loves when multiple men, she likes being gangbanged because it makes her feel more powerful, right? Because sex is power, right? And their son, when I say son, you have the SON and you have the SUN, which is a representation of Tariq. His name was Tariq, right? And he is Tammuz or Demuzid or Horus or Attis, right? He's a representation of all those different altars. This is Ezekiel 8, verse 14. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. Right? And that's why I said that this is a ritual. And the ritual today, in this time, right? Because what I'm going into raising Kanan, right? And that is also a ritual, right? Being played out on our television. But we also have a time where this ritual is being played out in this world. And this day is actually coming up soon. This is Ash Wednesday. Well, they said it's already started. I guess they said it started February 14th. But because February 14th is for Cupid, and Cupid and Tammuz is the same. But see that cross is a T, and that T is for Tammuz, right? A lot of these people don't know that they're actually weeping for Tammuz because it's Lent, or like it's a time of lamentation, right? But they're actually weeping for Tammuz. So this ritual that's being played out has been being played out for thousands and thousands of years, man. This is nothing new. Did you see that little star? They just had a star right there on her belt. See the right, when the star is right side up, is a representation of the mother goddess. They just showed you real quick, just to let you know who she is. Hold on, let's see. You see it? The right side up. So the star is when the star is upside down, it's a representation of the Father God, right? What's his name? Oh my gosh, Baphomet, right? Even though Baphomet is just a union between the Father God, the Mother God, and their son, the divine child, right? But she's a representation of the Mother Goddess. That's why they just showed it just quickly. They just showed that star very quickly, so you know who she is. And she's teaching her son, or she's quote unquote nourishing her son. That's why I said there's a correlation between raising Kanan and raising Dion.
Go ahead, take it. Point it straight out there. Hold that shit with two hands. Strong hand on top. Extend your arms. Aim straight out there. Squeeze one off. That bullet's out there now. Circling the world with your name on it. And you're gonna be running from it for forever. You want to be in it? You in
it. Right? And like I was going into raising, the word raising, it's there's a Greek word known as korotrophos, and it's spelled Courotrophos, and it derives from the verb trepho, which is spelled Trepho, which means to nourish or to raise. The title was attributed to many different goddesses like Artemis and Hecate. And Hecate is who? Hecate is the goddess of witchcraft. So who is this lady, Raquel or Rock? She's a representation of Hecate, right? She's a witch. And she is bestowing upon her son the milk, right? Like the cow goddess. And what is the milk that she's nourishing her son with? She's nourishing him with witchcraft, violence, right? And all of that, because at the end of the day, they're drug dealers, right? And to be a drug dealer, which goes back to pharmakia, means witchcraft, okay? So she's teaching her son on how to be a witch, right? Simple and plain, right? So like I was saying, fast forward to raising Kanan, where the mother goddess is now in full control. Why? Because the father god, who was a representation of ghosts, he's dead, right? So even though Raquel Thomas, aka Rock, is not Tasha, she really is Tasha, right? So you just have to understand that all these mother goddesses are the same. So even though they have a new character playing the mother goddess, it's still the same archetype, still the same thing, right? Because it's the mother goddess. It's just in a different altar or character. And what gives it away, both women love to cook, and both women were fighting to keep control of their family while simultaneously tearing it down, right? And one of the many rituals of this show is socially engineering men on how to be fathers and how to accept homosexuality through Marvin. I think he's the older brother. But yeah, Marvin, his daughter is curious or confused, right? So they're pushing that agenda to the men. So you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American men can be more accepting to this knowledge, right? And this is the same thing that happened with Adam and Eve, right? The knowledge that Eve was given Adam was the knowledge of everything that we're talking about right now, right? Which is all filthiness, right? It also shows what will happen to you if you don't conform and if you try to expose the truth. And that they showed that with the youngest brother, Lulu, right? Because Lulu was losing it. He was going crazy, and they were getting ready to execute him. But I guess they ended up putting him in a place, a rehabilitation place, to try and get him back on track, man. Right? Because this show shows the contempt and disrespect young men will have for their mothers when they try to shelter and control them as well. So even though you women are in control of the house, mainly in the black community, right, where there's a matriarchy, you don't understand that there's a trickle-down effect, right? And then the children are going to end up hating you, because this is not how young men are supposed to be raised anyway, right? They're supposed to be a head of the household, and the head of the household is supposed to be the man, period. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahushai, and the head of the woman is the man, right? So there's an order to things. And because the order has been broken within our community or within our people, right, within our different tribes, you're going to see the destruction of our people in many different ways, man. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 24. It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Right? And what woman is that? Right? That's talking about Eve. But because you women all come from Eve, right? There's a trickle-down effect, man. And being that our nation is destroyed and being that the men are destroyed, we're not in power the way that we should be. And when I say empower, we're not even empowering our people through knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on how to move, right? And plus, we don't even have the power to rule over our own households, right? So even brothers that do have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to be a good guide and to be a good leader, you still don't even have the power to really rule over your own household in this society, man. So your children are being taught by women, taught on how to worship Halloween, worship Christmas, right? To be okay with homosexuality and all these different belief systems, which is destroying them. This is Isaiah 3:12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. Right? And this is very telling right now, because we don't have any power over our kids, and our kids have become menaces, right? Like one of my favorite movies, Menace to Society, right? Those were all young kids, but guess what? They became menaces to their own community because they were left unchecked and they were being raised by women, right? So let's read that again. It says, as for my people, children are their oppressors, right? Which is really and truly going into the so-called white man, right? Because really and truly, you Caucasians, you're beneath us, right? You're beneath us. And women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. And listen, TV shows like this and TV shows like Raising Dion, it's what's destroying our paths, because these are different rituals and these are very powerful rituals. These things shape our kids' minds. Their minds are being shaped by these different TV shows and different movies and different musics. This is Proverbs 22, verse 6. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Right? And the elites and the people who socially engineer this world, they know this. They know this. And that's why all they wanted was the minds of our kids. They don't care about old people. They don't care if we are trying to hold on to our traditions, because they know from they have the minds of our children, they're going to have the minds of their children, and their children, and that's what they want. They know that they can breed us out. They can breed us out, man. Our children, because of we don't have any culture, and because everything about our people is broken, our children don't even respect us. And if they don't respect us, they don't listen to us. Okay? And then they give our kids these different idols, right? People to look up to. And then they follow them and follow their ways and their mindsets and their belief systems. Okay? So with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the elders and elder apostles of GMS that rule well and that teach well. And to you brothers on the four corners of the earth doing this work in truth and in sincerity. Shalom. Till next time. Kwam Yasharallah.